What happens when political fiction starts to become reality? James Bennett, former action star turned popular California governor who returned to acting, stars in a hit streaming drama about seizing political power. When his former chief of staff suggests turning fiction into reality, the line between entertainment and conspiracy disappears. As a viral marketing campaign creates mass confusion, Bennett faces an impossible choice. When unexpected events in Washington coincide with the show's pivotal episode, is it a brilliant promotion or something more sinister? Acting President, 8 episodes of political intrigue where entertainment becomes a dangerous game. Acting President, wherever you get your podcasts.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Breaking news from the stadium tonight as an anonymous fan foot the bill for 55,000 hot dogs, bringing that sweet tubed meat to everyone in attendance.
Free dogs! Yeah!
55,000 hot dogs? What does that even cost?
While the identity of this Frankfurter philanthropist remains anonymous, their all-beefy generosity will go down in history.
The new Mega Millions. More to win means more to give. How you spend it is up to you.
Yeah!
For game odds and details, visit sceducationlottery.com.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Pope Leo has captured the attention of Chicago as his hometown prepares for a massive celebration in his honor. The event is today at Rate Field, home of the Chicago White Sox, drawing enormous crowds eager to celebrate one of their own, becoming the leader of the Catholic Church. The response has been overwhelming. Within the first 15 minutes of ticket sales on May 30th, more than 10,000 people had purchased the $5 tickets. By the end of that first day, 20,000 requests had poured in, and by Friday, the event was completely sold out. This is White Smoke. The celebration will be streamed live online for those unable to attend in person. Though Pope Leo will remain in Rome, he has announced he will participate through a special video message broadcast directly to the gathering. The Vatican confirmed that this message will be shown first at the Chicago event before being shared with the world. The program will include celebration prayers and music, creating a meaningful connection between the pontiff and his hometown community. The timing of this celebration has drawn significant attention as it coincides with President Trump's birthday and a major military parade in Washington. Pope Leo's leadership has already shown signs of potential conflict with the current administration, particularly regarding immigration policy. In his first major address to world diplomats, the American-born pontiff emphasized the importance of respecting migrants' dignity, drawing from his own family's immigrant background and his missionary work in Peru. This stance puts him at odds with the administration's stricter immigration enforcement policies. Gates will open at 12:30 in the afternoon, with the main program beginning at 2:30. The day will conclude with Holy Mass at 4 o'clock, led by Cardinal Blaise Coupeche, Archbishop of Chicago. This historic gathering demonstrates the powerful connection between Pope Leo and the city that shaped his early life and calling to serve. The baseball gods work in mysterious ways, and nowhere is this more evident than in a 3-second moment from October 22nd, 2005. As the Chicago White Sox stood 2 strikes away from winning Game 1 of the World Series, television cameras captured something extraordinary in the crowd at what was then US Cellular Field. There, just above the home dugout, sat a young priest named Robert Prevost, dressed not in clerical black, but in White Sox colours. 20 years later, after white smoke rose from the Sistine Chapel, that same man would become Pope Leo. The moment has been reborn as something almost divine, a symbol of faith that provides proof to the most ardent Catholics among White Sox supporters of a higher power at work. Father Bob, as he was known then, sat next to his friend Ed Schmidt and Schmidt's 5-year-old son. The camera found them in the anxious delirium of the 9th inning, with the Sox holding a 5-3 lead against the Houston Astros. Prevost wore an antsy smile, bowing his head and looking toward the scoreboard as closer Bobby Jenks prepared to finish the game. The anticipation was electric. Jenks wasted no time, firing 2 more strikes, the final one a 96-mile-per-hour blur. Exactly 33 seconds after Prevost appeared on screen, Game 1 was over. The crowd erupted, fireworks exploded over center field, and manager Ozzie Guillen embraced his closer with a huge smile. For almost 20 years, this moment remained buried in the larger story of the White Sox's 4-game sweep. But when Prevost's election as Pope Leo was announced, the footage went viral. Suddenly, questions arose about divine intervention. How could a future pope have been present at such a pivotal moment? The image conjured thoughts of destiny and faith rewarded. The connection means everything to Guillen, who grew up as an altar boy in Venezuela and spent 3 years carrying the cross in his Catholic church. His priest gave him money when his family had little, and Guillen named his first son after that priest. When his son asked if the Pope would know who he was, Guillen laughed and said no. His son replied, "Of course he does. He was there. You were the manager." Today, Rate Field has become a pilgrimage site. A mural honouring Pope Leo adorns a pillar at the entrance to Section 140, showing him in papal regalia with his right arm raised in blessing. Below it, in a smaller image, is Father Bob from that October night in 2005. Fans line up daily to take pictures, some making the sign of the cross, others holding up prayer hands. The Pope's actual seat, Seat 2 in row 19, draws visitors who sit where he sat and feel connected to something larger than baseball. An usher working near the mural takes comfort in his surroundings, saying, "I think Jesus is with me," as he nods toward the artwork. People approach the mural and position themselves under Pope Leo's extended arm. "He's blessing me," one woman called to her friends. The White Sox may be struggling now, but for one magical night 20 years ago, something divine happened at that ballpark. Faith was rewarded, believers were made, and the spirit of that moment continues to draw pilgrims seeking connection to the miraculous.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years, and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Pope Leo's culinary preferences tell the story of a man deeply rooted in Chicago culture while embracing flavors from around the world. His food choices reflect both his South Side upbringing and his adventurous spirit as a global missionary. According to his brother Louis, the Pope's absolute favorite food is steak, which means he's likely dined at Chicago's legendary steakhouses over the years. This preference for high-quality cuts of meat shows his appreciation for the city's renowned dining culture. From classic establishments to neighborhood gems. When it comes to pizza, Pope Leo surprises many people. Despite Chicago's worldwide fame for deep dish pizza, the pontiff prefers thin crust. Joe Aurelio, president of Aurelio's Pizza, revealed that Pope Leo visited their Homewood location just before his papal election and ordered a pepperoni thin-crust pizza. The restaurant has since honoured him with a Poperoni pizza and designated his dining spot as the official Pope's table. This preference actually reflects true Chicago pizza culture. Thin crust, also called tavern-style pizza, is what most locals actually eat. It features a cracker-thin crust cut into squares and has been a neighborhood bar staple throughout the Midwest for decades. While the style typically comes with crumbled sausage, Pope Leo's choice of pepperoni puts his own spin on this regional classic. His hot dog preferences show equally strong Chicago loyalty. Louis Prevost confirmed that his brother would choose a Chicago-style hot dog with no ketchup, served on a poppy seed bun with onions and bright green pickle relish. This adherence to Chicago hot dog etiquette demonstrates his deep local roots, as putting ketchup on a hot dog is considered practically sacrilegious in the Windy City. The Pope's childhood food traditions shaped his lifelong habits. He grew up in a deeply Catholic home where the rosary was said every night before dinner, and the family observed fish on Fridays. While his brother Louis grew to dislike this practice, Leo had no problem with it, and likely continues honouring this tradition today. Beyond Chicago favourites, Pope Leo's missionary work expanded his palate dramatically. During his time in Peru, he developed a taste for goat, which is commonly used in South American cuisine. One waiter at his frequently visited Peruvian restaurant confirmed that stewed goat was a semi-regular lunch order for the future pontiff. His adventurous eating philosophy sometimes leads to extraordinary culinary experiences. Louis Prevost recalled a phone call where Leo described eating live seafood in an Asian country, something that was supposed to be swallowed while still moving. Louis had to interrupt the story, saying it was one thing to eat fried calamari, but feeling them trying to save themselves and wriggling back up your throat was too much information. The Pope took the unusual meal with no complaints, accepting it gratefully and gracefully to honour his hosts. Chicago restaurants have embraced their papal connection with special tributes. Portillo's renamed its Italian beef sandwich the Leo for May 2025, featuring divinely seasoned Italian beef, baptized in gravy and finished with the Holy Trinity of peppers. Burning Bush Brewery released Dar Pope Beer, an American mild ale. The famous Wiener's Circle changed its marquee to read in Latin that he has eaten our dogs.
There's always something brewing behind palace walls, whether it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle making headlines from afar, or Prince William and Princess Catherine quietly preparing for the future throne. I'm Mark Francis, and on Palace Intrigue, we cover every twist, turn, whisper, and wink. From royal drama to daily gossip, follow Palace Intrigue wherever you get your podcasts.
When the world's most powerful people go to war, we can't look away. Welcome to Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback, the podcast tracking the explosive conflicts shaping our world right now. Presidential administrations fracturing, tech billionaires threatening government leaders, entertainment titans destroying partnerships with single social media posts. These aren't just headlines, they're windows into how power really works. We deliver daily episodes when news explodes, weekly deep dives for perspective. From Washington power struggles to Silicon Valley vendettas, we decode the psychology behind the drama and reveal why these feuds matter far beyond entertainment. Feuds, Power, Pride, and Payback. Today's conflicts are tomorrow's history. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Want this podcast without commercial interruptions or feed drops? Caliroga Plus is just $5 a month, and you'll get this show ad-free. Plus, we've just added the full first seasons of Eastwood Reloaded and Crown and Controversy, so you can binge listen our new series without a single interruption. Caliroga Plus gives you Palace Intrigue, 5 good news stories, daily comedy news, 5 daily trivia questions, and all the other shows on the Caliroga Shark Media Network, totally ad-free. For just $5 a month, it's the best deal going. Apple Podcast users can even get a 30-day free trial by clicking the banner that says uninterrupted listening. If you're on any other app, head to caliroga.com/plus. Link in the show notes. Don't wait. Get your uninterrupted content now. Apple Podcast users click that banner that says uninterrupted listening. If you're on any other app, head to caliroga.com/plus. Link in the show notes.